Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Learning Pro Live. My name's Cath Ellis and I'm so glad to be back. 2021. Tomorrow is going to be a big day. New changes in the world, I think. I'm positive. I'm really glad to kind of just get back into this. I've had a bit of a break. Felt like I needed it. And ready to unleash Ask an ID. So, guys, if you have any questions about instructional design, I'm here. But if you don't have questions, I'm just going to waffle on and talk about what I've been up to and my life as an instructional designer. I see we've got a few comments here from the usual suspects. We've got the magnificent Devlin Peck, who's saying, looking forward to this. Caitlin, she's saying, Cat's back. I wish you could update your username as well, Caitlin. So funny. Tom, how are you going? After missing so many, glad I could tune in tonight. Emma, wahoo, so keen. I'm glad to be back too, Devlin. It's been a really interesting one, I think, for a lot of people right now with what's going on in the world. And, I think my mind just went down a little bit of a, I don't know, I just felt like I needed a break a little bit from doing the videos. And I was thinking about what people were needing, and when I was trying to do some videos on specific topics, I'd get lots of questions, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do a general session, and I might do it on a regular basis, this Ask an ID. So, you guys can ask whatever you want. I'll pretty much give you everything but my PIN number, so just shoot. Sonica, welcome back. Oh, I'm really glad to be back, Sonica. So I'm really interested to see, where you guys are at on your journey, what you're trying to achieve this year. Is it going freelance? Is this now your goal? Is it your New Year's resolution? You're going to try and do a bit of freelance work and try and give this a fair old crack? Or are you freelancers and you're wanting to refine what you're doing? I've got some really interesting projects that I'm working on right now. I'm working with a professional who takes care, who trains in mindfulness, and I'm helping her put her business online. COVID's changed things up. It's much harder to do face-to-face training, so building a WordPress website and putting her content onto Thinkific and allowing her to sell to different audiences. One is to the education sector, one's to corporate, and one's to sports. So that's been keeping me really busy, and I have to say I've been loving it because I build websites as well, and being able to do a bit of WordPress. And I've been actually working in Elementor, and it's absolutely fantastic. So it's been great to be able to learn new things, as well as being able to give us SCORM files and working in different platforms and doing things like interactive manuals. So what are you guys up to? We've got quite a few people online. Let me know. Where are you on your journey right now, guys? I think another thing I want to focus on this year is maybe revamping my website. Elementor's actually really opened my mind to how I can make a custom WordPress website and build it with templates. So things like my portfolio page can have a standard templated look. This Elementor allows you to use these custom fields. It's really, really cool. Yeah, it is really it is a cool project, Emma. I think that it's allowing me to I don't know, just it's nice when you've got a client who wants your opinion and is looking for your expertise in things. It really is a great feeling when, they've got a problem and you've obviously can come up with a solution to fix that. Oh, we've got the questions coming in. Let's see. Devlin says, yeah, it does sound like a cool project. Yeah, I'm looking forward to telling you about it, Devlin. Devlin and I and Emma, actually quite a few people on here, we have great relationships outside of the LinkedIn world and these videos. So try catching up with Emma and with Devlin once a week when I can, even though I am like the worst sometimes, Devlin, so I'm sorry. Janet's in Lima. How are you going in Lima right now, Janet? Tell me how things are in the world. Is it kind of good at the minute, or is it a bit... Okay, so Caitlin, how do you maintain your confidence? Do you ever deal with imposter syndrome as a freelancer? Absolutely. It's been, it's been a challenge, right? When you start, I don't know about you, but I when I worked at an agency doing this, and I'll call it an agency, it was an e-learning agency. You sometimes feel quite unsure about yourself. So we do things like reviews of each other's work, and I take things quite personal. If I'd sometimes get a review back that says this shouldn't be written this way, it should be written that way, and I felt, well, it's actually the same thing, it's just written in a different tense. And I doubt myself, or someone who wasn't in those initial kickoff meetings would review my work and then would question it, and I'd go, oh, is this the right solution? But I just went out there and started my own business and tried to have faith in what I was doing, and it's been good, right? And you know what, Kristen, Caitlin, I do make mistakes sometimes, and I learn from those mistakes. So even this project, I go, I'm going to learn from that next time. So I've got a challenge at the moment with the WordPress website that the designers created a number of different menus. So I think there's 5 different types of menus that have got to be applied throughout the course. That's a bit complicated, right? So, I next time I do a website, I'll be defining, I will do 1 website heading, rather than 5. So it's always a learning thing. You've just got to have confidence that you know what you're doing, right? And I certainly doubted myself. Yeah. Emma, I'm sure, is feeling the same way. She says, I just quit my part-time job and I'm now freelance. And you know what? It's scary, right? But you know what you're doing, guys. You know what you're doing. For those of you who don't, you've got a million resources around you. People like me, hundreds of other people on LinkedIn who are constantly sharing things, and you've just got to try and have faith in yourself. Sonica says, sounds amazing. Yeah. Congratulations, Emma. Devlin saying, scary stuff. Do you have clients already, Emma? She's got some comments here, so let's see what she says. I'm looking forward to doing some freelance work this year. That's great, Sonica. So Emma's saying, yes, I do, Devlin, a mix of subcontracting and direct client relationships. Lots of love for Emma coming in. Devlin says, nice, sounds that things are going well. Exactly, reviews, difficult environment at work lately can really impact your confidence. Hi, Shellen. Hello from Toronto. How did you find clients when started out? So excited for this, Cath, working as a technical trainer, but a designer developer in disguise. I'd love to freelance one day, but I should take an official ID position for experience first. I'm going to answer Shellen, your question in a minute. Jen, I would say you should try and take some official ID experience first, only because you can see how businesses are doing it, right? Even if it's just to work out what documents they use, what's their process, what project management tools they use, how they go about costing, you know. And look, I'm open to answer questions and things like this. There's no point in keeping things under wraps. And I can point you to places that you can look for these things. But I think experiencing it yourself is really good, even if it's just taking on a 3 month contract and sussing things out. You know, go and try and find a job with a company that inspires you, and look at the different authoring tools that they use, and look at the quality of work that they're selling at what price. I think that that's really, really important. And what you can do while you're doing that, unless it's in your contract that you can't, try and take on freelance at the same time. So I had worked in a government department doing e-learning, who didn't have the same kind of requirements or time frames around projects than when I went to the agency. And that was really eye-opening, because it just allowed me to see so much, especially around the quality of work on certain price brackets. And even though I wasn't doing all of that work, it just allowed me to just keep learning and refining my craft. Now, finding clients was really interesting, because, and for those of you who know me, I've kind of said this a few times, I got my website up first. It doesn't need to be massive when you start, but I kind of had some portfolio items, a little bit about me, what services I wanted, and you know, you could even get yourself a one pager up if that's going to be you getting started, and just start curating some content and getting some SEO term, you know, get your SEO ranking going, by blogging and putting portfolio items up. It'll help you on Google get recognized. So a lot of my clients come through Google. However, I'd certainly say you could reach out to old clients that you've worked with. You can say, "Hey guys, I'm taking on some freelance clients right now." Depends how hungry you are, right? You could even, if you've got some clients that you've worked with, do some mock-ups. So, you know, I like learning new tools. I'm playing around with Evolve a lot right now. I've been using Adapt, Learning Pools Adapt, for a long time. I've been playing around a little bit in Evolve lately. And Evolve's really flexible. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, it's Evolve Authoring. I'm pretty sure. And you know, you can reach out to the guys there and ask for a trial. And yeah, so I like creating new things. So you could create something in, for example, an authoring tool like that, or in Articulate Storyline, or in Adapt, Rise, and send it out to people and say, you know, I've been playing around with here's what I could do for you, and just put together a little mock-up for them. Where am I up to? Sonica says, I think building relationships is a bigger challenge when doing freelancing. Absolutely. you know. So I think if people have worked with you before and they know your quality of work and your passion, they'll be likely to take you on as well. But I also wouldn't be too worried about reaching out to people who you don't know, who inspire you, businesses that you're interested in working with. It's always going to be hard if you want to go, if you want to work for Facebook or something like that. But hey, there's nothing stopping you. This is how people do things. I mean, if you jump on YouTube, you can see people remaking logos, people remaking websites. I'm going to be hopefully moving soon to a new location in Victoria, probably about an hour away. And, I wouldn't have a qualm about, reaching out to a few local businesses that I like and saying, hey, do you want me to build your website? Jen's saying awesome advice. Okay, Nicholas, nice to see you here. The worst case is when an SME doesn't know what they want to achieve through an e-learning. That's really difficult. And I think part of this that's really important, and I've been having these conversations with a few people recently, is I really like to do a learning strategy first. So even though a client will come to you and say, oh, I know exactly what I want. I want an articulate storyline. It's I've got a 50-page, something ridiculous, 50-page PowerPoint that needs to be made into, an articulate storyline course. I won't just go to development. And I know a lot of people do, but I don't. I'll generally do a learning strategy first. And it's just a one-pager, right? If this is something that you're interested in, I can focus a session on doing learning strategies. But basically, I want to spend some time with that client and really, even though they're coming to me and they think they know what they want, I want to dig a little bit deeper, because a lot of the time I can refine what they want. And by doing that and by putting it onto a document and confirming what they want, then if they want to start changing it along the line, I can say, well, we actually decided that this was the direction that we would go. Sometimes clients know exactly what they want, and that's great. But again, putting that into a document, and I liken it to building a house. I say to a client, look, if you were building a house, you'd sign a contract for the land, you'd then start going to an architect, you'd start doing a build, a plan for the build, and you would then go to build, right? You wouldn't just go and you'd build it, right? So I kind of liken it to, if you decided last minute that you wanted a 4-bedroom house instead of a 3-bedroom house, it's going to start looking weird, because those architect plans have considered how you live and, how you want everything to be laid out. If you start making last minute changes, that 4th bedroom isn't going to look right. It's going to be on the side of the house. It's not going to be inside the house. Or you're going to have smaller rooms. Devlin said, in what way do you think it's challenging? It's a personal challenge for me, Devlin. I'm not sure where to start, although I've been doing this for over 10 years. So I think this was talking about relationships. Devlin said, I'd love to see a session on creating a learning strategy. Right, so maybe I'll focus on that. It's certainly really good for you guys to get things documented, right? So client comes to you, this is what I'm wanting. I've got a course, that I'm wanting to roll out. I want to focus on this, this, and this. If you've got that in the learning strategy, and then you go to the next stage, right? So the next stage, I do quite a high level framework of what they want. So I call that a learning overview. Okay. And I go, okay, so this is going to be all the pages. This is the order. These are going to be the main activities on here, on this page. So whether it's a video, whether it's a click a reveal, or whether it's a reflective activity, or, you know, whatever, multiple choice question. I do that, and then I go to build, because I want to make sure it's all in the right order. When that's signed off, then I go to storyboard. If the clients start wanting to move things around, then you can start using language like, well, that's out of scope, because this was us looking at the big picture. This was the framework that we decided to do. Sonica says, I've had some great conversations designing the learning strategy in consultation with stakeholders. It's a great place to be for all concerned. Yeah, it's absolutely a great place to be. And I find that my projects stay on track when I have a learning strategy in place, and I take this, I do this. And I had a great conversation with a friend. I won't name her name, but she was doing projects for a client, and she got into a bit of a conundrum with accessibility. So the client had said, I want this, this, and this, accessibility wise in storyline. And then a stakeholder threw in, we've got a page for our government department specifically on accessibility. Never told her about it. And started talking about, we also need this and we also need that. And I said, well, you know, you need to pull them up, that now this is a change. I said, you know, you're worried about this now. You've been told last minute accessibility changes. Just be very positive and say, well, this is a change of scope. And, you know, if this is what you need, then this is going to be the cost for those changes to be made. Don't freak out about it. Just let them know that this is an additional change and this is going to be how much it is to implement this. It should have been decided earlier on. So guys, for those of you who are tuning in, what's your big plan of action this year? You know, is it to learn any specific new tools? Is it to learn how to do new skills? You know, I've got a number of things here around the house that I haven't really been, you know, utilizing as much. I've said on my New Year's resolutions, I'm going to try and learn. So I want to, I've got a drone that is lying around and I haven't used very much. So I'm going to try and go out and do some flying. I'd love to be able to do some projects that I can actually do some really nice drone overhead shots of businesses and be able to sell that as well into my offering. I'm also, you know, I've been trying to do the live streaming, and I've had my head around OBS for a while. And for example, I tried to go live this morning with OBS and the picture looked crap. So now I've got to learn all about different streaming and things. So I'd love to know what you guys are doing as well. I'm not going to keep this session long. I'm trying to kind of be able to offer you guys an opportunity to ask me all kinds of questions. You've gone a bit quiet, but I'm gonna try and do these videos as often as I can. I'm even gonna go so far that I'm gonna try and do them daily. So you'll know that I'll be here around 10 o'clock Australian time. So wherever you are in the world, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna try and do it daily. If you fancy coming on, having a chat, do that, right? Other than that, I'm going to talk about I'm gonna just talk about general things. Tom says, big goal for 2021: reduce work and focus on creating some fun YouTube content. Sounds great, Tom. You know, I've been talking to Devlin a lot about this, and you know, I think if when you're doing stuff that you love, it's really not work. You know, you get so much out of it. And I'm the same. I need to up my game with YouTube. I took a break. I just felt like I was burnt out a little bit, so I took a little bit of break. And I can't wait to see what you're coming up with, Tom. Yeah, lots of smiley faces. Devlin says he's digging deep into programming and aims to land more development work. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about that, Devlin. Is there any specific type of work? Is it your XAPI, etc.? Okay, so Caitlin says new job within an industry of greater personal interest. Is there any little hints? What is the specific industry that you're interested in working in, Caitlin? I think, you know, if you are interested in specific lines of work, you should just go for it. Reach out to people. There's no harm in doing it. I find that you'll so for example, I do a lot of work in the disability sector, and there's different industries that I'm very attracted to. So when I get you know, when I get quotes and things through my website, I'm very attracted to doing those types of work. And then there's others that I'm really just not interested in at all. And yeah, it's a far better type of work for me to do. Devlin says, yeah, XAPI. I mean, lots of new XAPI content coming soon. I'm also building some web apps from scratch. Be curious to see if there's a demand for that in the learning space. Yeah, it's really interesting, isn't it, Devlin? Is it Glide that you're using, or is it another tool that you're using? XAPI is really something that I'm so thankful that you're out there doing. I think that there's lots of videos out there about XAPI, but not everyone's so generous as you sharing actually how to implement it. And I found that your videos are just like you're a leader in this. You know, you're phenomenal. Sonica says same. So you're obviously looking for a bit of a change of pace as well, Sonica. That's great. So Caitlin says medical, biomedical, other areas, social tech. That's really cool. Yeah, it's going to be great. Hey, Sonica, Devlin's just phenomenal. Oh my God. Look who's here. Amanda. Love it. So happy to have you here, Amanda. Amanda's another person that I try and catch up with as much as possible. She is just a beautiful soul. Devlin says, just coding from scratch, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, using a JavaScript library called Vue. God, you're a nerd, Devlin. I have no idea what that is. I'm gonna have to get my do a bit of searching, see what that is. Lots of love for Amanda. Yeah, Devlin's got some great content. So I'm going to wrap it up, I think. So this has been about half an hour. Let's just come back tomorrow. If you guys want to natter about learning, I'm going to try and have a couple of examples of things that I've seen out there to share and to talk about and that. So yeah, you know, also guys, if anyone wants to jump on and have a chat with me, you're always welcome to come on in. All you need to do is just let me know, you know, Cath, I'd like to talk about this. and I'll invite you in and we can have a natter. But yeah, let's just keep it lighthearted, and you know, I think it's just great to have a bit of a mechanism that we can chat with each other. Thank you for blessing us, Cath. Definitely, please. What's she saying? Oh, damn it, I missed it. Well, you didn't miss anything, Amanda. I'll just recap dead quick. I'm just putting a mechanism together for us to jump online, and if we want to have a chat about learning, we can. You know, as much as I love you, Amanda, I'll get you on and have another chat very soon. I'm just kind of doing an Ask an ID so we can answer any questions or just have general chats about learning and development. So I know you came in late, but you can catch tomorrow's. Nicholas is saying storytelling as part of a learning strategy would be interesting. All right, we can definitely do that. I've got lots to talk about with that, obviously, with the work that I did on the Fallout, because that was really storytelling. So how about we look at that maybe sometime this week, Nicholas, whenever you're ready. You know, we can chat about that. Anyway, we'll wrap this up. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you found it interesting. For those of you who obviously missed out and are tuning in after the live event, pop some comments down in the video, and I'll reply to them. If you've got any questions, if you are interested in chatting about something particular, we're just going to keep this really, really nice and easy. So nothing too stressful. Okay. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. See you at 10 a.m. Bye.